Alrighty guys, let's take a look at in this video our indices, that is S&P 500, Nasdaq 100, IWM. We'll take a look at KOSPI and also GLD and SLV, your gold and silver, in this video. Before going further, as always, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. Alrighty, so we are starting off with S&P 500. Now, in my previous videos, I have been mentioning that we are extended, but overall, we are still bullish. Okay, this is the trailing area I have given you, 758, and until here, overall structure is still bullish until here. However, seems like market wants to take some profits in the near term. That is what pullback is happening right now. This is a real pullback. This wasn't a pullback. Okay, if you have been seeing my videos, you should have understood all of this by now. But anyways, so let's get to the hourly interval, because what are the zones to watch? And that is this zone that I gave you. We have lost it. This is below which we would pretty much start a bit of a sideways action, escape of momentum, part of a overall pullback, and sort of multi-day weakness. But remember, it's overall not bearish, it's just near-term cool-off that is happening. And that remains the zone to watch going tomorrow as well. 774 area. It did try to react here. You can see 2 hours of candles there. Tried to hold, but eventually gave up. That means if you don't see a push through, that means the level is about to break. Accordingly, manage the position, and thus we then continue to flush lower and lower. It actually did approach another zone for a potential day of a bounce. That is possible because it's S&P 500. Okay, but just so you know, this bounce will only last for a day if this happens, because it is at a near-term zone of 771. Okay, but let's get to the 5 minutes interval. But that will just be a bounce. The point is that that bounce you cannot take with more surety until above that 774 and 775, this very zone. Okay, this is still your right now ongoing resistance zone. We do have a likelihood of doing a little bit of a bounce from where we are actually, guys, right here. That is 771, but take it just as a bounce for now, but that's a possibility. But right now a bit of momentum is escaping. Overall, I'm not worried. And also we are, the next significant level, actually the solid line, is right over here, 767. That's your significant level. So even until overall bullish we are $760, $759, we still have another significant level that may not even let it get all the way down there, and this is a S&P 500. So point is that, let's get back to the daily interval. The point is that market got extended, continued to push up. This cannot last in continuation. Okay, a little bit of cool offs may happen along the ways. Okay, and it's just a bit of a cool off happening. So I'm not too worried, but position management should be done because we are a little bit losing the momentum here. Okay, and that's the zone to watch that I gave you from the hourly interval. Nasdaq 100. Similar to S&P 500, we haven't really lost the zone though. And Nasdaq 100 hasn't really gone into the pullback mode yet. But if you look at it, S&P 500 has already made a new high, right? But Nasdaq 100 did not make a new high this time, right? It still stayed down there. There is a divergence ongoing between S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100. However, price action to price action, Nasdaq 100 still is fine. This is the first zone, 727. We are still holding that technically, and even if we lose that, overall we are not in problem until 702. But let's take a look at hourly interval. Are we looking like we're gonna do that? So looking at the hourly interval, yeah, no, right now we are holding that zone, guys. That significant level you can see is solid line there, right? Yeah, if there is, yeah, you can, this is where, yeah, you can see that it's behind, a little bit overlaid by the yellow zone, but this is the significant level. So it bounced off of from there today as well, last day as well, bounced off of right over there. So right now it is still holding. It's not even in a pullback. Unlike S&P 500 that is on a pullback, Nasdaq 100 is not even in a pullback. It's still in the, as long as it can hold 728, 729, is still technically to the upside. even day, it's just a day of a cool off that happened, but multi-day is still holding until above 729. If we lose it, then yes, it will trigger a bit of a cool off, may test, you know, levels lower end of the yellow zone, 724 most likely, and maybe also 720. But overall, we are not bearish. It's just a cool off can begin and accordingly manage the position. All right, let's take a look at IWM. Now, IWM is still bullish. Okay, this thing is still, pullbacks are getting bought up really nicely from the significant level right up over here. Let's get to the hourly interval, and these all levels are marked by my tools automatically for you guys. Trade with the tools, don't trade blindly. And it's also not in any weakness right now. This is a support 302. If we lose 302 significant level, it's a little bit of cool off it can do, but I really don't see much of a trouble. That will just be a right now part of a pullback, and it may still, it's still very strong. And overall we are fine even until like 296. So point is that this significant level 302, above that everything is fine. Below that it's just a bit of a multi-day weakness, a part of a overall pullback. This week may not really become bearish overall. It's just a part of a pullback here. Market is still very strong. All right, may not look like that, but it's still strong. All right, let's take a look at KOSPI, and then we'll get to then gold and silver, and we'll wrap up with that. So KOSPI is very important to notice and see for the memory stocks. And as you know, memory stocks, if you have seen my video on my another channel in the morning where I do those videos, I have been telling you we are bullish, not gonna stop, continue up. I gave you the bottoms on those, and also I gave you the bottom on KOSPI here. Right, precisely, I told you here guys, this is the bottom. Okay, and we have been continuing up. It has also been taking out now next zone. Look, we may see some pullbacks, but they will just be a pullback. Overall structure will be fine even until 6,635. KOSPI will remain bullish right now. It will have to lose like this yellow zone 6,200 to really make me concerned. Okay, otherwise no, this is still fine there. All right, okay, let's take a look at now gold, and then we'll take a look at silver. Okay, so gold has been also continuing up in the momentum. Now I do think gold has a room to slow down here eventually. It doesn't have to do that, but it has a possibility. But where is that confirmation that it may slow down, right? Where will that cool off begin? The zone to watch for that is 400 actually. Let's get to the hourly interval so that I can, you know, give you some more precise zones. Well, 400, yes, but give it 395 to 400 actually. If we lose 395 to 400, then only I see it doing some cool off and pullback. So right now, though, it's still in the strength. Okay, the thing to watch here is that, is it gonna slow down here and then eventually start to lose 400? That's the start, and then 395. Otherwise, above that, if we can stay above that, you are technically fine actually. Yeah, above this zone, you are technically still fine to the upside, but I have my doubts here. For gold, I have my doubts. Yeah, for the proper like continuation of the upside, and also on the silver. So let's take a look at SLV. Very similar like GLD, but it is also pushing up. I do think it may slow down eventually, but it's, hey, so far so good. Who am I to get ahead of the price action, right? Yeah, so this significant level that has continuously held here, $58, right? It has continuously held. It reacted here quite a lot. So this significant level 58, as long as we are above it, nothing to worry. But also I do believe the upside is capped on this thing as well. Like 64 will be a strong resistance in my opinion. So it has still a room, but then that's where you might want to see the price action. If you want to trade it, just to have that risk management, because technically you are trading the price action. It can break that level, no problem. When we get there, we'll see what the price action is doing there, right? So if you want to trade, this is just that it's not my thing to trade like a small range when I see there's a potential cap on it still. These commodities lately do make big runs, but really don't change the full direction. Like look at it, big move, but continue to give up, right? So I do think there's yeah, and this time I think it's more apparent, but we'll see. Alrighty guys, well that's all I want to talk about in this video, and this is my second channel. Subscribe here as well if you aren't, and with that I'll see you in my next videos. Take care, bye.